The Polar V3 is Polar's newest wearable. Now this one finally comes with an AMOLED touch display with an upgraded chipset, so everything runs a lot smoother than what we're used to from the older Polar smartwatches. And today we will check out all of the features, what's new, how good is actually the built-in GPS, the battery life, and a few more things. But first, let's check out the price, the design, and some of the specs. Alright, so let's begin with the price. So like all Polar devices, and especially the Vantage series, the Polar Vantage V3 is not cheap at all. Now if you look it up on the Polar website, you can get this thing for about 600 euros over here in Germany. And at least right now there are no deals to get this smartwatch a little bit cheaper. But what do we actually get for that price? So spec-wise, I already mentioned that we finally get a new display. It's not an LCD display anymore, and we now have an AMOLED display, which gets much brighter, you get better colors, and it's actually a touch display. On most other Polar smartwatches, you got to navigate using the buttons on the side, except for the Ignite series. The newest one of them, the Ignite 3, has an AMOLED touch display as well. I also mentioned that we get a new processor, which is now 129% faster than before, and to be honest, you really feel the difference if you have another Polar device right next to each other or ever use one of them. You can swipe left and right and open up your applications pretty fast and without stuttering. It feels like it's just as fast as the Galaxy Watch 6. Now, you will also get the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for your display protection, and if you look closely, you see that it's not flat on the display, and you get a little curve to it, which tempers slightly towards the edges of your watch. Now, this watch is also water resistant up to 5 ATM, and it finally supports any normal 22mm band. It does have a quick release feature, and like this, you can swap your band out pretty fast. So you can buy any other band on Amazon and attach it to your smartwatch. Lastly, you have to know that you will get a 1.39-inch AMOLED display. This watch weighs in at around 39 grams, and you get an aerospace aluminum bezel. Alright, next up, the activity tracking and the built-in GPS, and let's start with the GPS. So you got the new multi-band dual frequency chipset, which should be much better than what we had with the older version. So I did a little testing on myself and walked a little bit outside, and I really think that you should not get a smartwatch for GPS purposes. I mean, you could argue that it's a little bit better when you're not surrounded by any tall buildings, but as soon as you get close to the city, the lines are super shaky, you get a lot of deviations, and the lines are just not on track. So overall, I'm not pleased at all with the GPS accuracy, even though I had it on high accuracy modes, since there is also a power saving mode in which the GPS isn't as good anymore. At least the connection speed is decent, and it only takes about half a minute until you can start your workout. Now besides that, you know that you get about 150 sport modes that you can choose from, but you can only have 18 of them on your watch at all times, and if you want to change that up, you got to do it over in the Polar Flow app and add a new workout. Right here you can also edit each workout separately and change things like your heart rate zones. You can customize your workout display on the watch with up to 4 different metrics from 8 categories with 65 metrics that are available to you. So it's actually quite a lot. And then there are a few other metrics and features that you can toggle on and off, like the auto pause feature, a compass, Strava segment, and a few more. You also get a few customization options before you want to start your workout. For example, in the running workout settings, you can turn on and off the always on display mode. There are different power saving options, raise pace, interval timers, and the back to start feature in case you get lost in the woods or just running in new places could be a little confusing as well. Next, let's check out the health tracking features. The new thing right here is the Polar Alexa biosensing technology. That basically is a combination of all of your health features. So first up, we got the new upgraded Gen 4 heart rate sensor, which is now once again better than the last one. In your app, you also get more detailed stats like your highest and lowest heart rate. You get a very good sleep tracker. Now this one tracks your light and deep sleep, as well as your REM and wake times. And based on your sleep regeneration, solidity, and the amount, you get a sleep score as well. Now, like always, we have the nightly recharge, which is divided into the ANS charge and the sleep charge. Now, the sleep charge is your normal sleep tracker, and the ANS charge gives you information on how well your autonomic nervous system calmed down during the night. We also have the boost from sleep feature. Now, this one basically tells you that if you have a good sleep during the night, you will have more energy for the day. Now, this watch also has an SpO2 feature, which only tracks on demand, just like your ECG feature. Now, you will find both of them in your test section on your watch. Now, the only thing that you just have to know about the ECG is that it is not a medical device and is not approved by anyone, unlike with the Samsung, Garmin and Apple devices. Now, the last one is the skin temperature tracker. Now, it doesn't show you your skin temperature rather than the deviation. Now, this one goes from +3 to -3, and normally it shouldn't get any higher than those two values. Next up, let's head over to the features. Now, if you swipe down on your smartwatch, you get to your quick panel, and right here you will find the D&D mode and the flashlight, which is a new thing to the Polar smartwatches, and you can say that it gets fairly bright. Certainly bright enough to not bump your little toe at night. Now, swiping up takes you to your notifications, but keep in mind that you cannot reply to any messages, and swiping left and right will take you through your different tiles. So you got your daily activity stats, all the workouts you've done this week, the nightly recharge, which we already talked about, boost from sleep, nightly skin temperature, cardio load status, today's workout suggestions, navigation with a compass in case you need it. You got the dawn and dusk, a weather app with a forecast for the next day. You see the wind speed, if it's going to rain, and the humidity. And lastly, you even have a music player with which you can only control the music on your smartphone, and you cannot download any tracks to your smartwatch, Sportwatch. The next feature, which you could also count as a health feature, is Serene. Now, this one is a breathing exercise between 2 and 20 minutes with different breathing intervals, which is supposed to calm you down a little bit. Now, there's a Strive for Life segment and fueling, which reminds you to drink water and stay high on carbs during long workouts. You got different timers like an alarm, stopwatch, and a timer. And in your settings, you can actually change the watch face. So first up, you can change the style, and you got 4 different layouts to choose from. Then there are 3 different background options. You can change the color of the theme, and you can also change the displayed apps and metrics on your watch face, with which you can now interact right from your watch face and don't have to look for the app first. Now, we also have to talk about the battery life right quick. So depending on your usage of the Sportwatch, it will last a little longer and a little bit shorter. Now, in the high accuracy GPS mode, you can expect to get around 40 hours of battery life, with normal GPS 50 hours and 140 hours in the power saving mode. And now, in case you don't use the GPS mode at all, you can expect to get a week of battery life out of it and 5 days if you have the always on display mode toggled on. Now, there's one little extra change, and that is the charging cable. Now, they went from a USB Type A to USB Type C connection, which is more or less a common thing now. And guys, there we have it. Now, that's the Polar Vantage V3. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.